Draghi significantly underwhelmed the markets today. We're getting the reaction of the ECB's meeting with Claus Vistesen, senior Eurozone economist with Pantheon Macroeconomics. The European Central Bank has cut its deposit rate to minus 0.30% in an effort to prevent too low inflation from being entrenched. What is your immediate assessment from the breaking news today?
Well, if we take the cut in the deposit rate first, it's a sign, I think, the ECB is now willing to use interest rates much more aggressively than the market might have been led to believe earlier this year. In this sense, the cut to the deposit rate signifies, I think, that the zero bound has not yet been reached, and this was also confirmed by Mr. Draghi at the press conference. So everything is in play now, even a deeper cut to the deposit rate. Obviously, what's left a little bit in terms of how the market is reacting is that while the consensus expectation was indeed for a cut to minus 0.3%, the market was pricing a cut to 0.4%, and that's also why we're seeing quite a significant increase in short-term yields today, which is not what the ECB wanted, to be fair. I'm sure that's not what the ECB wanted, but that's because there is discrepancy between the market's expectations, such as it was reflected in what we could call a consensus forecast, and the market pricing.
Another important announcement from Draghi's speech was the fact that the ECB has extended the range of assets that are eligible for QE and will now buy regional and local governmental debt. What do you make of the deposit rate being lowered as well as the QE being extended?
In many ways, if I am to sum up this day, this is a significant addition to an already very, very loose monetary policy. In that sense, I think the story will continue in the Eurozone. I think the cyclical recovery will continue. I think inflation will go up, possibly even faster than the market and the ECB expect in the next 6 to 12 months. But that's obviously, that story is a sideshow today to the real story, which is that the market has been significantly underwhelmed by the response of Mr. Draghi. I am particularly surprised by the fact that the ECB cut its inflation forecast at the same time delivering a response that they must have known would underwhelm the market. That's not usually what the ECB does. The ECB, for example, could have come out and said, look, we're more optimistic now today than we were 3 months ago, and as a result, we're not easing as much as the market expected or as much as the market was pricing. But that's not what they did. Draghi, as far as I could see and listen to, re-emphasized the downside risks to the economy and to inflation. And as I say, they actually cut the inflation forecast. Again, two explanations here. One is that Draghi and the doves might have been reined in a little bit by some of the hawks, that they simply underestimated how aggressive market expectations were ahead of this meeting. Perhaps a little bit of both.
Draghi has a reputation of over-delivering with these key announcements, but appears to have disappointed by opting not to increase the size of asset purchases. In your view, do you believe this to be the necessary direction for the euro area?
Not point of view of the economic analysis, we can conduct at the moment based on traditional macroeconomic leading indicators, GDP growth, survey data. No, you'd be hard-pressed to argue that the ECB should actually increase the pace of purchases. On the other hand, again, going back to the theme I just mentioned, that was probably the main disappointment. A Reuters poll I participated in, and as a result, I got the result ahead of the ECB meeting, clearly signified a strong expectations in the market of a 10 to 15 billion increase in the monthly pace of purchases on top of an extension in a duration. And in some sense, I'm surprised that the ECB chose to not fulfill that expectation. Obviously, it might do so later. Draghi left a little door open for further easing, saying, that they will revisit their tools again in the spring. And then he also commented quite strongly on the significance of reinvestment of principal payments, which could begin potentially before the end of the program. Such these kind of small technical details are a complete sideshow to what has been a bit of an unexpected under-delivery by Draghi because, as you alluded to in your question, he usually at least delivers, over-delivers.
Thank you, Claus. Be sure to check back with Jugoscopy TV for more updates throughout the week. Goodbye for now.